Hi, my name is Lisa Costello and I'm a support consultant with OSSM. And today I'm going to be taking you through setting up a new year in NetSuite. If you're new to using NetSuite or more familiar with other accounting systems that have a full year-end process, this video will be useful to you. In NetSuite, there is no year-end process as such, but you do need to create the new accounting periods for the new year. You do not need to have the periods of the current year closed to go ahead with this process. And you have the option of setting up a single accounting period at a time or generating all periods for the full year at the same time. Our best practice recommendation, though, is to set up a full year at the same time to generate all periods. When you use the Setup Full Year option, NetSuite will create all of your accounting periods as well as the quarters for the new year. This will also ensure that each day in the new year belongs to an accounting period, and this is essential to ensure accuracy in reporting. As previously mentioned, you do not need to be finished processing in the current year to set up the new one. You can continue to work in both financial years simultaneously. In this short video, we're going to show you how to set up the new accounting year, how to edit or delete accounting periods, and also how to create your tax periods. To set up the new accounting periods, you need to at least have the edit permission for Manage Accounting Periods. So we're going to go to Setup, Accounting, and then we go across to Manage Accounting Periods. On the Manage Accounting Periods setup, we have the option for a full year. If you have multiple subsidiaries and you also have multiple fiscal calendars, you can have different year setups. So for the calendar I'm going to set up today, I'm going to set up my January to December fiscal calendar. And it'll automatically update the first fiscal month of the year. So it's predetermined on previous years. And we're going to select that it's January. And our fiscal year end is going to be 2023. You select your period format. So you have different options here to select. So you have calendar months. If you choose this option, there'll be 12 periods and there'll be one for each calendar month of the fiscal year. The other options you have are 4 weeks. This will set up 13 periods, each for 4 weeks in duration in the new fiscal year. Or you also have the option for 5 weeks. This sets up your fiscal year with 2 4-week periods followed by a 5-week period, and then this cycle is repeated for a total of 13 periods in the new fiscal year. The first accounting period of the new year, if it goes will fall on January 1st and will run until January 28th, regardless of the day of the week that January 1st falls on. The last accounting period of the year will end on December 31st. This behaviour is similar that if your year was to run from April 1st, then the first period will end on April 28th and the year will end on March 31st. Used this way, the 4-4-5 period shifts the ending day of the week from year to year. In this example, we're going to go ahead with using the calendar months. So you have the option here, year in period name. So here we're going to select the starting or the ending year to include in the period name. So my year is going to be 2023, so I'm going to use the ending period. Because my year runs January to December, it all falls in the same year. For example, another way to think of it is if my year was to start in April of 2023 and run until March of 2024, I could choose to have the ending year of the period in the name, and then it would use FY 2024. Or if I chose to use the starting year of the period, it would use 2023. Then you can check the 1-day year-end adjustment period if you want to include a standalone period for the last day of the fiscal year. And save. I'm going to collapse all of my years. So here are all of my financial years that have been set up, and I have chosen the one that I've just recently set up was my FY 2023. And if I expand it, I can see it goes January, February, March, and I have all of my quarters set up, and I have all of the periods set up, and every day is accounted for. So the next thing we're going to look at is how to edit or delete an accounting period after it has been set up. You cannot delete an accounting period after it has been closed, and you also cannot delete an accounting period if any transactions have been posted to it. If this has happened, If you want to delete the period, you will need to edit the transactions that have been first posted to it, change the posting period on the transaction, and then once they've all been removed, you can then delete the period. So to edit your accounting periods or to delete them, you go to Setup, Accounting, and Manage Accounting Periods. If you want to delete a period from the list, you can select your period from the screen, where you have actions at the top, and click Delete, and then that will remove it from your list. So if I was to go back and look at my financial year for 2023, in the year I can now see there's no December 2023. Next thing we're going to look at is how to edit an accounting period. You can edit or delete an accounting period after it's been set up, but you cannot delete an accounting period after it has been closed. Also, you cannot delete a period if any transactions have been posted to it. If you need to delete a period where transactions have been posted to it, you'll first need to edit the transactions and then change their posting period and then delete the period once all the transactions have been removed. To edit your accounting periods, you go to Setup, Accounting, and Manage Accounting Periods. You then need to select the period you want to delete, hover over Actions at the top of the screen, and then you'll see the option to delete. If the option to delete is not available, one of the reasons you won't be able to delete it is that the period has been closed or the period has sub-periods. So if you want to delete a quarter rather than a period, you need to go into each of the individual periods, delete them, and then you can remove the quarter. On the accounting period page, you can also edit any of the following information. So you can you can edit the period name, the start and the end date, the allow non-GL changes. So you can check this box when the period is locked or closed. It's a sub period of, and a period is an adjustment. With the multiple calendars feature enabled, you can also edit the fiscal calendar field or add or remove fiscal calendar assigned to a base accounting period. And then click Save. The last thing we're going to look at is setting up tax periods. So along with setting up your accounting periods, you need to set up your tax periods. And a tax period defines a period of time in which your company tracks tax. A tax period can be a month, a quarter, or a year, depending on your frequency of tax submissions or what your business has agreed with your local tax agency. You can run monthly, quarterly, or annual VAT, GST reports in NetSuite. When setting up tax periods, the best practice is to use months for posting tax, even if you only intend to run quarterly or annual reports. Again, we go to Setup, Accounting, and we go further down our menu options, and we should have one there for Manage Tax Periods. So again, our advice is on best practice is to use the option to set up a full year at the same time. So I've got all the way up to 2026 here. So if I can click Set up Full Year, January to December fiscal year, I'm going to set up my 2027 year. I'm going to use calendar months. And again, I have my same options as calendar months, 4 weeks or 4 to 5 weeks. And again, my year and period name, if I want to use the year that it starts or the year that it ends in the period name. And click Save. If I scroll all the way down my list, I now have FY 2027 and I have all of my periods and my quarters set up. Once the new tax year is generated, again, you can go to Manage Tax Periods and you can make any necessary changes. But again, the same rules apply as to editing tax periods as with accounting periods. If it's a sub period and you want to delete the quarter, you need to delete the individual periods first before you delete the quarter. If the period is closed or if there's any transactions posted to it, those transactions will need to be removed and then you can remove the period. So I hope that video will be useful, but if you have any other questions, there are Suite Answer articles and I've left those numbers up on screen, or you can contact us at support@awesomecloud.ie. And thank you for your time.